The following is a presentation of Muddy River News.
Hi, it's Chad from the Liquor Booth, wishing you a festive holiday season. Check out our large selection of bourbons, whiskeys, and tequilas. The Liquor Booth, 3520 Broadway, Quincy. We have all the holiday spirits you need.
Welcome to the Daily Muddy. I'm Bob Goff alongside Brittany Bowl. How are you today?
Good, thanks. How are you?
I'm great. At Monday night's Quincy City Council meeting, there were a lot of things discussed. David Adam has 3 stories on Muddy River News about it. But I wanted to pull one nugget out and talk about it with you a little bit because it's a topic you enjoy so much.
Yes.
The food and beverage tax is projected, well, has $1.5 million in it now. It was projected to have $750,000 in it. Mike Ryan called that out at the city council meeting and said, well, why don't we cut this tax back? You know, it's got more than it thought. We're always going to find a way to spend this money. And Mayor Trope said, well, we're giving him $1 million a target. Okay. So talk a little bit about $1.5 million. That's a lot of quarters out of beers at Spring Street.
Yeah, okay. I guess, back it up real quick, why this is my favorite tax.
Yeah.
In 2019, when this was proposed as a bill, this was about the first time that I think I got involved in local government. It was the first time it actually affected me to my face.
Right.
And by what I mean to my face, a local businessman approached me at the bar that I work at. Every Monday, I work a shift at Spring Street, and he kind of sold me on this idea, or tried to sell me on this idea, if you would. I think what he wanted from me was my guerrilla marketing skills and hoping that I was really going to push this idea and say, hey, you know what, this is for the good of Quincy. This is good, but yeah, I feel so used. Not really. No, I took a step back. I did a little research for myself and realized this isn't exactly going to benefit me.
Right.
It was a proposed 2% food and beverage tax, which originally was for pensions and got denied for pensions.
Right.
And then they proposed it again for tourism. And it was just so vague for me. I couldn't stand the thought of a tax where we didn't know exactly what tourism meant.
Right.
We were pulling numbers that said 35 to 40% of tourists are the people who go out to eat. We were pulling these numbers from, I believe it was the Quincy Next strategic plan that did that.
Yeah.
In hopes to, again, steer this ship past this bill. And eventually, the public spoke out. I spoke out a lot about it and against it because said businessman doesn't know exactly how side bars work or side business bars work, I don't think. If you're raising it just 2%, we're not going to be able to put 2% on our price. We raise things to a quarter. And when you raise it to a quarter, the initial consumer response is to take it from the server, hence the tips.
Right.
But I was told, this is the betterment for the community. This is the betterment for the overall long haul, And I see that. I understand where you're coming from, but that benefit we're not going to see it. I mean, the benefit is essentially, I believe, the 45 by 30 plan is what we're shooting for.
We're not even at 40 right now. So.
I know. So I think the people that voted for this are believing wholeheartedly that we are going to hit 45 by 30. And I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm saying this is why this tax was put into place.
Okay.
So that was my backstory on why I don't care for the tax so much. And my boy, Mike Ryan, that was awesome. Another thing he did that let's talk about real quick. In a year after the tax got put into place, so it did get put into place, it was what was the vote? It was a tie vote.
7-7 vote. Mayor Kyle Moore broke the tie.
Okay. So once it got put into place, a year later, after COVID hit, my boy Mike Ryan put in an ordinance saying, let's pull this back. We shouldn't put this on the taxpayers. This is not something that, if what we're wanting is to make Quincy grow, this is not the way to do it. That ordinance got shut down. They said, no, this tax is into place. It's happening. And now we found that, I I guess this sunset clause is coming up. It's not coming up this election, but it's coming up
It's in April. I spoke with City Treasurer Linda Moore, and she believes the sunset will be in place in April. Will go into effect April 2025, and the sunset means the tax would go away unless it's voted to be reestablished.
Cool.
So and there's also going to be a whole different slew of city council members on there by then. You're going to have John Mast, who is a supporter of the tax, he is leaving the city council. You've also got Parker Freiberg, who's leaving the city council. You got Patty Maples, who was appointed and is now running for re-election. You've also got Ben Uzelak, who is a very strong supporter of the tax and also a strong supporter of COVID shutdowns during the pandemic, of shutting off people's water if they didn't follow the guidelines regarding the pandemic. And so there are a lot of factors at play here, and that tax, again, has generated a lot of money, and there's two schools of thought. It's like, okay, it's a lot of money.
Why aren't we using it for the constituents of Quincy and not these tourists, is what I'm asking.
Or do we just say we're going to just kill the tax? So
that would be my biggest vote.
Right.
Because why are we putting this burden on the constituents of Quincy? I just feel like this tax in general is not putting Quincy first.
Well, Quincy has a lot of infrastructure issues, and I know they've got money where they're spending that, and I know, the water mains and the sewer mains and all that has to be fixed, and you've got a big price tag coming up on that, and I know they're going to get an EPA loan from the Illinois EPA to fix some of that, or to work on that, but eventually that loan has to be paid back.
Bob, certain money is designated for certain things.
I understand
don't you know?
that. Yes, I understand that, but it's like at any time they could change, as they did when they said, okay, we want this to go to pensions, and they voted it down, and now it's supposed to go for tourism.
Which is condescending. I mean, it's almost downright slap you in the face, if you ask me.
Well, because if you look at it this way, and it's like, okay, you're going to give this money to entice people to have new events to bring people to town. But then you have other people who've had multiple events for multiple years who can't get it. But now they're already in the second phase of this in the second year, and you've already got people who got money for their new event last year, and they're getting money for their event this year, and it's no longer a new event.
It just seems a little crooked.
So why don't you give the money to the Quincy shootouts, even though sadly it looks like it's gone, the Grand Prix of karting, there was one other event that you and I had talked about earlier. But anyway, Little People's. There are multiple events that have wanted this. They said, oh no, it's got to be a new event. Okay, well, not anymore. Not the way you're doing it now. So you have to have some consistencies on this. And now this fund has generated $1.5 million. Again, $1 million of it's going to Target, but it's going to continue to generate more than $1 million a year as long as it's in. So then when April 2025 rolls around, and you've got you might have a new mayor by then. Now, that new mayor won't be sworn in until May 1st. Mike Trope will be the current mayor, but he could either still be the mayor or he could be done. We don't know that. You've also got aldermen who are going to be possibly lame ducks on there, and aldermen who are still on there. And my thing is, if you've got a sunset that expires right before you got new aldermen and possibly a new mayor being sworn in, it's not right. Though that vote needs to be happen after we've had a new round of elections. We're going to have this round of elections in 2023. We'll have another in the spring of 2025. So why would you not say, okay, we're going to vote on this? Because you could have a lame duck group who votes to keep it in. Now, I don't see that happening with the current makeup of the council. Anyway, there's a lot of dynamics and a lot of things to play. And again, you've got the money that's going to Target. You've got Mayor Trope talking about another big box that he wants to use the money for. You've got the events that go before the Bet on Quincy, Bet on Q committee. Again, so many factors in here. Name change. But you've got so many factors, and you've got so many different ways, and you've got this. People have called it a slush fund because
that's essentially what it is.
You can kind of do what you want with the money, apparently.
One of the biggest proponents for it, I will not name him because he's a good friend of mine. He and I argued about this back and forth. And now he says, as being a proponent, you were right. It's a slush fund. You know why? It's because we didn't know what it was for initially. We changed it 3 or 4 times. And it's just not something that you should do on the taxpayer's dime. It's just... Again, like I said, it's a little crooked.
Well, I think that what we're going to see is over the next 2 years, especially with a new council coming in, this fund's going to have a lot more scrutiny on it. And people are going to look at this money and, again, how's it going to be spent? Is what authority does the committee have? How much money, what is their limit that they're allowed to spend? And then come April 2025, or if it gets tabled or what have you, then you're going to have a major decision to make. But my thing is, and a lot of people are like, government taxes never go away. Once the government puts something in, they get addicted to the money and they want to keep the money flowing.
Exactly.
So it's like, will they keep it? Will they keep the tax in place? Will they find a more concrete use for it, or will they get rid of the tax? And one of those three things is going to happen come April 2025. So
Bob with a local bracket breakdown for us.
Well, I mean, again, it's just, taxes never go away. They just don't. When they get put in like this, it's very rare.
I think a little angry to begin with, Again,
So.
it fuels. It did fuel me to get involved in local government, and I guess that's the one light thing that came from this
It's the
for me.
silver lining.
Yep. But now I'm paying a quarter for every transaction.
And like I said, when you're still out and about, and when you're still working, people, remember that, and just keep the tips flowing, keep all, and again, keep supporting local businesses, because a lot of them did not want this to happen. But then you had that
bread
tax,
and butter of our community,
and then you had inflation on top of it after the last 2 years, and COVID. So they're going through a lot right now, and they've been very resilient. And but still, right now, it's very. You go out to eat on a Friday or Saturday night in Quincy. Good luck finding it unless you go out early, because it's still packed. So people are, and I think that's what the city's like. The city father, the people who support this tax, are like, they're going to come anyway. They're going to do it anyway. So we're just going to take the money.
Nobody likes to cook.
I like to cook. I do.
I do too. I'm just saying they figured it out. They figured us out.
I know.
And now they know how to get our money.
Right. Well, I want to thank you for stopping by.
Thanks for having me.
And I want Ashley to get better so she can be back tomorrow.
Please get better.
All right. Bye-bye. Thanks.
Dazzle your friends and family this holiday season and do it right with beautiful furniture and stunning accessories from Harvey's Furniture. And happy holidays from all of us at Harvey's Furniture. Harvey's Furniture, our home, your home.
Instant Replay is your local sports bar. With 18 big screen TVs, we have all the sports packages from college games to pro games. We offer daily drink specials, and come check out the Bullpen, our newly renovated beer garden. Instant Replay, 2739 Chestnut in Quincy.
Welcome to the Abbey, a Quincy tradition.
With 6 big screens, a new larger kitchen, and now more seating capacity, the Abbey is the place to be before, during, and after the big game. Come enjoy fan favorite appetizers, steaks, burgers, and a variety of daily food and drink specials. Can't join us? Carryout is available too. Now with a convenient drive-up window to better serve you. 1736 Spring in Quincy. Opens at 3 p.m. Tuesday through Sunday.
Come join all your friends at the Abbey, a Quincy tradition.
Quincy Warehouse Bargains is your Quincy home improvement store. It's the only store of its kind in the Quincy area. We offer flooring, mattresses, area rugs, dining sets, couches, appliances, and much more. And have more products to come so we can better serve the Quincy and tri-state community. Our staff is ready to help you find what you need to make your house a home. Quincy Warehouse Bargains, 4100 North 24th Street, Quincy.
Muddy River News. Our home, our news.